Someone called King Need Gore. He's a great person.
All right, cool. I'll keep an eye out. I do go through all the comments anyway. So we're live anyway now. So hello everyone and welcome to the channel and welcome back. To another AJ Chats. Matt's busy this weekend. He's got other stuff going on, so that's why Matt's not here with me today. So it is just me. So first off, let me welcome Sasha, who's brand new to the channel, first time on. His channel's called Sexy Monkey, and we'll go into that in a little while and what he does. And also returning, we've got Martin from 4K Michelin Star Movies.
Hello.
Who has been on previously, so that's all great. So Sasha, then. So obviously we started talking last week. You jumped on to the live, as in the comments, and we struck up a bit of conversation. Sort of, I invited you on, which is great to have you here. Fantastic. So do you want to just share your channel? Well, but what I will say to everyone or people watching, even if you watch on catch up, is I will include links to both Sasha and Martin's channels in the either add it to the title where you can just click on it and go into it, or I'll put it in the comments, or I'll put it all over anyway, so it'll be there for people to go and sub to these channels. So Sasha, tell us a bit about your channel, why you started, what you do. Go on, plug away.
Why I started really isn't I suppose it's developed over the years, because I remember the first video I ever made on YouTube was just a question. I just wanted an answer to a question, and I thought the way to reach a lot of people and get the answer would be to make a video. So I started my YouTube channel not really with any direction in mind.
Yep.
It was film related. I think I was talking about Terry Gilliam or something film connected, but I've kind of progressed into accidentally not accidentally, but focus on, I have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and I'm unhappy with I'm very I think very visually. The way things look matter to me, so I started making my own custom made Blu-ray sleeves to replace the retail artwork. And it's really taken off, and I've now developed my own unique look and style, and that's, for good or bad, that's what my channel is. I'm always showing them. I do live streams too, with friends, most of them American, who one of them's in the chat, King Gore.
Yep. See him, yeah.
I can change my shirt, or I was pondering wearing a purple silk shirt I have, but I didn't know about that. That's kind of my channel in a nutshell.
Okay, so first off, I have to ask this question. What was the question that you asked that first video? What can you remember what it was? And did you get your answer?
It was a technical question. I don't remember specifically, but it was a technical question about either Terry Gilliam or Werner Herzog. Not Werner Herzog, Wim Wenders, German filmmaker. And I had a question about I probably did get the answer, but it was years ago. This was back in 2015. That channel no longer exists. And a friend of mine said I'm very natural in front of the camera and I should do live streams, and I tried that because he said that, and that's kind of a thing I do too, but not consistently. Far from it.
Now you mentioned the name Herzog. When that name's mentioned, a TV series comes to mind called Nowhere Man. I don't know if you're aware of it.
Nowhere Man. I'm actually not.
Stars Bruce Greenwood, and I'm wondering if that's the same Herzog who was behind that. It's just that as soon as you mentioned that name, Nowhere Man TV show, it came.
He's an iconic figure. He's a filmmaker, director.
Yeah,
Herzog. He's done some mainstream things. He was in the first Jack Reacher film. He played the villain, and he was in the Mandalorian series. So
okay.
But he's one of my favorite people. Put aside the fact that he's a great filmmaker, I just love him as a human being. He's got a great mind,
Okay, cool. I've got to look. I've got to look whether it's the same. What would you say his name was? Vernon.
No, Werner, spelt
Werner.
W-E-R.
Okay. Then no, it's a different
N-E-R.
person. This is Lawrence Herzog.
Okay, well, if you
Just the name.
I know you're into Star Wars, so you're probably familiar with the Mandalorian. He was
Yeah.
He was the client. Yeah.
I think he's kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I think he was very unique, and I think he's kind of sold out a bit now to Hollywood. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. He's still Werner Herzog. He's still the same person.
Okay. Fair enough. So, do you want to show a bit of what you do?
Well, this is kind of an exclusive because before yesterday I hadn't done this. I've been making custom sleeves for years, doing things like this. What I do is I replace all the imagery using alternate artwork. So I did this for John Wick 4.
Yep, cool.
But the other day I decided I can tackle slip covers. So now I'm not just making custom made sleeves, but slip covers too.
Okay, nice.
You literally, that was my question. I was going to just ask you. I was saying, do you do slip covers? But you've literally just answered it. So,
this is my best. I think the best sleeve I've ever made for Taxi Driver. It's, but now I've got slip covers to go with it.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah,
fantastic. And people,
I only have 3 printed.
Okay. And people are inevitably going to ask this question. Do you sell them?
I actually, King Gore in the chat, he said this could be a business because, I only have 3 printed, and it's Taxi Driver, The Lost Boys, and one of my personal favorite films, Collateral. I did this for Collateral.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean that could become a thing, selling them. I know there's a demand for them. This is a custom sleeve as well for Collateral.
Yeah, there certainly is. People do
they
love
put out very generic looking artwork. I did this.
Yeah, people do love a slip. So you might get a lot of obviously people go over and subscribe to Sasha's channel, which is Sexy Monkey. What more can I say? They look fabulous.
Thank you. More to come. I've got Fight Club, The Big Lebowski, and Predator on the way.
Okay, superb.
They're made. They're just not pretty.
You'll be getting requests.
I've taken requests. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's fantastic. So let's move over to Martin. Martin, how are you keeping?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm not bad. Yeah. I've been on a bit of a hiatus last couple of months. Just had to step back for a little while. Had some personal stuff needed to deal with, and just really rein in on the movies I've been buying. Really, it's kind of got a bit out of control for a little while. So I've kind of just stepped back a little bit and like I say, I had some other stuff to deal with as well. But slowly getting back into it now. But yeah, people that don't know me, mine 4K Michelin star. I'm predominantly 4K movies, whether it be box sets, unboxings, movie reviews, steelbooks, TV shows, just general film chat, really. Yeah.
Cool. So it's glad to see you back. Glad that you're getting back into it. Because you have been missed.
Thank you. Appreciate
it. And I see over your left shoulder.
Yes. My new purchase, which I got the other day, which is I got the new G3 65-inch OLED, which is absolutely phenomenal. You don't realize how good OLED is until you've been using a LCD TV for like 5 years, and then you move over to something like that, and then it just completely blows your mind, And it's funny because even my wife, she's so impressed with it. She's normally very kind of neutral when it comes to my hobbies and technology in general. And she's like, she's literally been like, we watched Dune the other day.
Yep.
And she was like, wow, she goes, I can't believe it. I can see all the different levels of black, and it's like all the shadow. And she started talking all this like technical 4K, and just like, I've never heard you talk like that before. And she's like, I can't believe it. She's like, it's amazing. She's like, and she was saying about it as well last night. She was like, it's yeah. She's just like,
wow,
stunned. She's absolutely stunned.
Whole new level of viewing for you.
Because she was seeing things that she hadn't seen before.
Yeah. I watched Dune previously on my old TV on a stream when it first came out, and then so obviously that's the second time I watched it. And the difference, on an OLED, because it's generally quite a dark film anyway, isn't it, Dune? There's a lot of sort of shadows and darkness, and dark scenes at night, isn't there? So and it's just OLED is just perfect for that, and that one just really smashes it out the park, in terms of picture.
No, absolutely fantastic.
It can make such a difference.
Yeah,
it does. I watched a couple of other older films as well. Some old some Dario Argento stuff yesterday, and 4K restores they've done of some of his films, and it's just the colors and the even on the older 35mm stuff that's been restored to 4K, it's just stunning.
Wow. Well, maybe one day I will.
I personally think that older films look superior to new ones.
Absolutely,
because they're shot on film, and you can get more clarity than you can on something shot digitally. There's more definition in the film than there is in digital.
Particularly when the restoration's done well, you get that little like nice level of grain, and you get the colors pop. It's you can tell that the love's gone into it.
Absolutely, totally agree. So let's see who's about. So King Gore, and this is Sasha, one of your friends.
Great friend of mine, yes.
As we've already established. So King Gore, welcome. Michael's in from Michael's Movie Corner. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think that this live actually coincides and crosses over time-wise with Michael going live at midday. But if anyone wants to jump off and go and join Michael over there, if he's going at midday, then fantastic. Michael got all excited. He let me know this morning that Paramount had dropped the latest episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I'm wearing a t-shirt actually because I've done my review. Strange New Worlds early, and it was a crossover episode with the animated series Lower Decks, in which some of the characters from Lower Decks traveled back in time onto the USS Enterprise. They were in live action as opposed to animated form, but the episode did open animated and close animated. It was kind of bookended with animated sequences in that timeline. It was a lot of fun. It was really good. And Jack Quaid, Dennis Quaid's son, is the geezer who voices the main star of that over there, and he was in it as that character. It was really good. So I'm sure he's very excited.
Yeah, I watched the last episode. That was quite good. I haven't seen this new one yet. I didn't realise it'd been released, so I have to check that out later. Yeah,
I didn't know until Michael messaged me on Instagram saying I woke up this morning. I got up at 6. I woke up at 6, and I had a message from Michael saying, they're dropping the latest episode of Strange New Worlds tonight. This was last night, so I knew it would be there this morning. Wow, it was good. It was good. A lot of fun. RH Media, how are you keeping, mate? Another trekker. Obviously, you can tell. Look at the image there. So, have you seen it? Yes, this is a bit about your shirt, Sasha. So, is a purple shirt a mainstay for you in live streams normally? Then is it?
No, I think I've worn it in 2 videos, but
okay,
it's something different. I don't know.
We got this fella here. Look.
Oh, your mate.
Video Tasties. Now he hijacked my stream last week right at the very end. I was just winding up. He threw me off. I was coming in. I sent him the link. I said, "Come in, come and join." And then he comes in at that last minute, just I'm about to say goodbye, and upset the flow, and I had to stay on for a little bit longer. Gareth from Video Tasties. Obviously, Gareth does his sit downs and watch parties with people. And I think now in August, we're doing Deep Blue Sea. He said, "What film do you want to do?" I said, "Deep Blue Sea."
Yeah.
Fancy seeing you here, Video Tasties. Kingle. Sasha, do you know Video Tasties? Do you know Gareth?
I know of him through Marty. I don't know if you know Marty, Trash Picture Show.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, he's told me about him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's all right. Saying that. There we go. Michael says he really likes your replacement sleeves. They look really good.
Thank you. I try.
So, like I said, go and sub. Go over there. Soulless Trenchcoat. Oh, from America. How you keeping, mate? I want to get you on a live at some point as well. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you're doing good. Up early or late, Kingor?
It's about 5 a.m. for him, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously America then, yeah.
Yeah.
East Coast? Must be. Yeah. East Coast of America would be, yeah. HF Movie Productions. Another great channel. There we go. How are you keeping? Video Tasties had to see my boy Sasha. RH Media saying your custom sleeves are amazing. Look, you're getting all this love.
Thank you.
Oh,
yeah.
Go on.
I think you saw the video I did on it. My Rambo, I just on a whim decided to show my Rambo sleeve. 10,000 views in under a week. That's not my way. I'm lucky if I get 20 views on a video. I got 10,000.
Wow. Amazing. There you go. So you say you're driven by OCD. So do you have the way you do it? Does it every sleeve you do, like from side on or whatever? Do they all look similar? They all look the same.
They do. They do. I did the Indiana Jones trilogy because to my mind it is a trilogy, and I made the first film not say Indiana Jones and
that's right, yeah,
because that's not the name of the film. But yeah, everything was lined up perfectly, and yes.
But what I mean is when you drop to another film series, do you still have a similarity in your layout, in your background color, all that sort of a thing, or do you mix it up?
Oh, if it's a series, they don't have to match in color, but they have to match in style versus. I mean, yeah, they might. Well, they do and they don't. It depends, really. The artwork really dictates that.
No,
it's not a must. But I just have usually my thing is I'll put a single picture on the bag.
Yeah.
And it's always in the same place, and that's the style that I keep to.
Yeah, fair enough. That's cool. That's
just
cool.
One picture, not loads.
Yeah.
So are you kind of generally frustrated with the kind of the normal artwork that we get? What kind of drives you in terms of like
it's
change it?
It's not so much the artwork, although that can be not nice too, but it's the overcrowded digital code banners and everything that's on the artwork that is not the artwork.
Right.
Because I think the only images should be the artwork.
Yeah.
With the UK ratings, you know, the Rotten Tomatoes logos, if it's a US one, that kind of stuff.
So do you change up every single film you get? Do you change, or is there any that you look at and you think, I'm quite happy with that?
I'm a big supporter of Criterion, and I've changed some of theirs that I don't like the artwork for, but really those are the only ones I don't, because even if it's just removal of a digital code, I'm taking something away. I might be keeping the original art, but I'm taking something away. So basically, yes, I do. I've made Arrow. Just did one for RoboCop, giving it different front art, and essentially, I do.
Okay, and I've got to ask this question before anyone else does. What do you do with the old sleeves?
Oh, I keep the old sleeves,
Mm.
although I haven't kept every single one.
Yep. Okay. I had to ask.
But I do realize that it's just, you know, something it's obsessive, and at the end of the day, it doesn't actually matter, but it
It matters to you. That's what's
kind of
important.
matters. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Are
the
you,
important part.
are you familiar with a guy called James from Jam Slips? Because he seems to be. I bought stuff from him. He's got his own Etsy page, and he does the whole slip. The custom slips and boxes, and I'm not sure if he does sleeves. But he produces some really good stuff. A lot of people use him. John at Mondo Chedovic. I think Keith at Euphoria. Bumper. I think he's bought slips off him. And he does really good work. And he's got it as a business. So I think you should definitely consider looking at that, because I think you would make a killing.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people they love their sleeves.
I don't know his name now. It's the first time I've ever heard it, but
yeah.
I know there's a demand for slipcovers. A friend of mine just rebought The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly for the 6th time, I think, just only for the slipcover.
Mm.
Yeah,
it happens. A lot of people love them.
Yeah.
They do. When when a new film comes out and they don't get the slip, they're like in uproar,
Yeah.
trying their eyes out.
It's I suppose it has the importance you put on it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So Michael's he's pushed his live back to 1 p.m. So I am going to end this at 1 p.m. So not to well, what I'll do is I'll end this at 5 to 1. Give Michael that leeway. Do you know what I mean? So I don't overrun past that time.
Yeah. Is that his first live stream, or has he done one before?
No, Michael's done
Oh, see,
lives
okay.
before. Yeah. Yeah, I like Michael. He's all right. He's a good guy. Although he doesn't like Star Trek 2. There we go. No, he does
Alien.
like it. Yeah, or Alien.
Or Alien. Or Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, and Terminator he struggled with. I don't know what's wrong with the guy. There we go.
Yeah, I noticed he went to see Oppenheimer, I think yesterday. I was thinking, oh my God, that film's like 3 hours long. I'm thinking, oh my God. That's I was wondering what his thoughts on Oppenheimer were going to be, because there's a there's a lot of dialogue in that film, apparently, and there's not too much action. There's a lot of people talking about stuff, apparently. So I just wondered, how he was going to cope with that.
Yeah, I want to see that. I might see that. Be seeing that later today.
I was surprised yesterday when he told me he's never seen Jurassic Park. What? How can you? How does that not? It's such a blockbuster, massive.
Yeah, or Die Hard. There was another one, wasn't it, the other day?
Yeah, Die Hard's another one. He's got to watch Die Hard. So he's not seen Jurassic Park either.
Yes, that was genuinely surprising to me.
Wow, Michael, I know you're watching. Get it sorted, lad. Get it sorted. He's a good lad. Where was you talking to him? Was that on in one of your channels? Was it or?
Oh, it was just it was on his video saying talking about he just picked up The Last Action Hero, and I said The Last Action Hero failed at the box office because of Jurassic Park.
Yes.
The competition of it.
Yeah, no. Jurassic Park's a fantastic film. Jaws is better, but there we go. Travis Lubke, am I pronouncing that right? How are you doing, mate? Thank you for popping in. He says, we've wanted Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern for years, recently cast in Superman Legacy. Should he be Hal Jordan instead, though? Yes, yes. 100%. He should have been Hal Jordan and not Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner's a Green Lantern with in the comics he had a bowl cut, and he's very much just he wasn't a very likable character, to be honest. Nathan Fillion is a better fit for Hal Jordan, but there we go. We'll see how it could just be Guy Gardner in name, and sort of character wise, he might come across like a Hal Jordan. They might sort of envelop the two into one? We don't know. And biggest question is, will it flop? Superman Legacy. Has the damage been done to DC and its brand and their, well, yeah, it's done. DVD guy says hello. Simi McKay, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Oops. RH Media. I have seen Strange New Worlds. I'm not a huge fan of the series, to be honest. That crossover was horrendous, and next week is a musical episode.
Oh, God.
I've got no problem with the musical episode. I remember Buffy's musical episode. It was fun. I remember Xena's musical episode. The first one, at least, was fun. I had no problem with that. So, might give you some nice songs to sing along to. Who knows?
As long as it happens organically, it's okay.
Absolutely. Hope you're all well. Nice slipcover, Sasha. Would love to see custom boxes for Steelbooks franchise collections too. I know there are people that do custom Steelbooks. I've never been drawn into it though, just because of cost more than anything else. I'll be honest. You know what I mean?
No. Are you talking about is that the sort of like the limited edition hard case boxes? Is that what that means?
Yeah, the metal box cases that you get, Steelbooks. People do make custom ones of them. A few people I know, not that I know.
Yeah, I know
of.
I know what Steelbooks are, but the hard, the boxes. Well, that's different. Printing onto metal.
I wouldn't know how it's done. I got no idea.
I'm not even. I might have a dozen Steelbooks, if that. I'm not really. Never was into them.
No. Fair enough. Ian's here. Ian, Hilda Ramblings. Hello, Ian.
Yep. Hi, Ian.
Hi.
Matt is popping in. Say hello.
Hello.
Look, Bow's got a question for you. Morning, lads. Can that fella, Sasha, this is you, do a custom sleeve for my Jenna Jameson collection?
There are no limits. Yes.
There you go. There you go, Bow. You got your answer. There's no limits. Steve, little Steve from Movie Chats. How you keeping? Michael starting off again. First Contact is the best Star Trek movie. Here you go. Michael said he did sit through Oppenheimer with no breaks.
Good to hear.
And he really loved it.
Good.
And Jurassic Park is on his backlog of films to watch, and he'll get around to it eventually. Now, here's a question for you. If Michael watched Terminator, just put it out there, but I don't think he's got any interest in progressing any further than Terminator 2. As in, he'll watch Terminator 2, but he won't watch the others. Do you think there's any worth in watching the others, or do you think stop at 2?
I saw number 3. I couldn't get through number 4. I just stopped, and I haven't tried since then. Well, I say that Dark Fate wasn't as terrible as I've heard. I actually liked things about it. It did get a bit kind of there was merit to Dark Fate. My going into it, I was expecting it to be really quite bad because of what I've heard, and it actually wasn't.
Yep.
James Cameron had involvement. He wasn't involved with parts 3, 4, or 5, I think. So I thought if he's not involved with the Terminator, the project's going to suffer for it. Having said that, I thought the Sarah Connor Chronicles was a really good TV series.
It was. It was indeed.
And that is Terminator 3 to me.
Yes. So the TV series was. I love Garrett Dillahunt, who was the guy who played the actual Terminator in it. I think he's an underrated actor. Yeah. Ironically, saying that, I picked up a film yesterday, not knowing that he was in it, and he is in it. As a bad guy, can't remember
Which
the name
one?
of it. I can't remember the name.
Oh, not Terminator related.
No. It was a film that I picked up in CEX for £2, starring Jason Momoa.
Oh yes,
and the fella from
yeah.
he's in that.
I just saw your video, and you were scanning past the shelves, and I winced a bit when I saw Creed 3 for £6 because I paid 12.
Yeah, the prices go down quick, don't they? They decrease in a well. Yeah, wow. This it's certainly, because I've done talks on this on whether is it worth picking up films on day of release or not. But then if I don't pick them up on day of release and I buy them from CEX, am I then harming the business because I'm buying a second-hand item and they're not getting my first-hand trade, if that makes sense?
The business being,
well, the business model, the businesses of the film companies, the studios releasing. If I don't buy, if I don't buy it at full price from HMV or an official stockist, and then I buy it secondhand on eBay or from CEX,
right?
I'm not contributing towards the, they've lost the sale essentially. I'm buying a film that's already been bought. See what I'm saying? And it's not going into their pocket. None of the profit.
Technically speaking, yes, I suppose that's the case.
Because you have to look at the amount of marketing, the money they spend on marketing to get you to buy that film predominantly on release date. So that they're kind of taking a gamble by spending that money. And if you're not, if you're not buying it, then potentially they're pissing money up the wall, aren't they? Really, on advertising it and getting people to pre-order and stuff like that.
No, this is true. I mean, why would I buy? Let's just take a standard Blu-ray release, right? If I know that I'm going to buy that if I walk into a shop into HMV, I can buy that Blu-ray. Tomorrow's Monday release day. I don't know what's out tomorrow off the top of my head. But if new release comes out on Blu-ray, it's £15. Okay. But I know that in even a day's time, 2 days time, potentially I can walk into a CEX and buy that for £12, make a saving of £3. Why wouldn't I do that in a cost of living crisis that we are in and all that sort of nonsense? Why would I pay full price when I know that in a week I can get it far cheaper? Same goes for 4K. Same goes for DVD as well. Why?
Well, it would, if you have the option of getting something for less money or more, it's obviously the cheaper option is the one to go for.
Absolutely. But I'm harming the business.
That's just common sense.
It is totally. Yeah, but then I'm harming I'm making it harder for. See what I mean? I'm contradicting my. I'm adding harm to a format that I want to continue.
But you're one person though, aren't you? I'm sure not everybody probably does what you do in terms of buying.
No, that's right.
Some people, there's a majority of people that just think, they've maybe got money to burn and just want to go out and get it straight away, kind of thing.
Yeah, it may be.
Yeah.
But usually when there's one person, there's more. Sorry, Sasha, go on.
It used to be me. I would always get things initially right when they were out, but now I don't do that anymore.
No, I unless it's a steelbook or a special edition set, that I know a chance it will sell out on release day or a few days after. I'll wait. If it's a standard release, I'll wait until I can get it cheaper in a sale, or because let's be fair, I've watched the film probably 4 or 5 weeks beforehand anyway. I'm not in a rush.
So, question for you: will you be rushing out to buy the HMV exclusive of Barbie that was announced the other day?
What we're talking about, the steelbook, that lovely pink steelbook.
That pink steelbook, yeah. Have
Damn
you pre-ordered
right,
that
I will. Damn right.
Have you pre-ordered that?
No, I haven't. Just because I saw Barbie yesterday. Yes, I saw Barbie. I had to. Come on, it was Barbie. No, it was okay. Barbie. It was the cast intrigued me. I like Margot Robbie. I like Ryan Gosling. Will Ferrell, I like. I was intrigued. And I tried to give it a fair review. Unlike my missus, who in the review, like I said, I started the review with her rhetoric. That was crap. That was a waste of time. That's an hour and a half I'm not getting back in my life. And I said, you got to give me more than that. You can't just say that. You got to like, what didn't you like? What didn't you like about it? She couldn't really tell me. So I try and give her, but in Barbie Land, the sets were fantastic. They looked like giant toy sets. But it's just such a it's just the messaging that these films want to give you. That's what does my head in more than anything else.
I heard that they're trying to. Well, there was I don't know if you saw the trailer, but they were parodying 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah, that's the opening of the film. They do
it
that.
is.
Yeah. That is in the movie.
Well, that's kind of a sign that this might not be what you're thinking, what you expect it to be. We're doing something different here.
Yeah, it's got some good elements. It's got some bad elements. I came away confused on it. I really can't put my finger. I need to give it a second watch. I can't really say. Not that I'm gonna. I'm not gonna. I might watch it in a year's time or something. I'll put it on if it's on streaming or something or whatever. I might try it then. But it's got good. It's got bad. But I'm not sure if the bad outweighs the good.
I heard that they were kind of parodying themselves, the fact that they didn't have their sexual bits. Like obviously the dolls don't have. Yeah, is that true? Yeah, I heard that.
Yes.
That they were kind of,
that is true. Yes.
Okay.
and I suppose if you know, which I don't. I mean, my daughter, when she was young, she never even played with Barbie. I don't know Barbie. I don't know, it kind of mocks itself, I suppose. It's kind of self-aware.
Does it push a feminist agenda? Because I heard that it kind of very
Every 10 minutes you said.
Yeah, very much so. Very heavily pushed an agenda-driven, and like when they come to the real world and everything's run by men, patriarchy. It's just a shame about messaging. That's all I'm saying. But there we go. So there we go. Where were we? Oh, we done that. Bal said lovely about Gemma Jameson. Slips. He's only joking. I don't believe Bal's got any Gemma Jameson videos anyway. If he has, that'll probably be VHS. Link to Sasha's site, please. Okay, so Sasha's channel, like I said, I will provide links. After it's done, I'll add the links to the. I'm pretty bad at setting these things up. I always set them up at the last minute. But I will add links to the description. But it's Sexy Monkey, and your image is. What's your image again, Sasha? Because it's a little cowboy hat.
It's an image of me wearing a hat that's split, and you can see my eyes through the hat because it's fallen over my head.
Okay.
So look for that. I was so surprised when you found it so quickly because most people have to scroll through images of monkeys.
Yes. Yeah, there is that. No, I found it. I found it quick because I used the link from my chat. So I just pressed on the link in the chat and it took me to your channel.
A friend of mine said, I hate looking for your channel every time.
Yeah, it's not the easiest to find when you do it like that, I will admit. So Michael's Movie Corner says, a better question is, this is with Terminator, will he get a headache if he goes past 2? Terminator 2. I think Terminator 3 isn't without worth. I'll say that. I find it to be a very fun film, an enjoyable, just action film. Has some missteps, but I think that it's got a very brave ending to it, and I think visually, it's special effects wise, it's quite stunning.
Oh yeah, there's good action set pieces, but I didn't like the comedy. Comedy was kind of pushed.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. But even Terminator 2 did have that those comedy elements in it, didn't it? That's where it started.
Yeah, it did. That when he said, "I need a vacation" at the end, that kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah, and then you got the smiling scene when he's trying to smile. I think that was one of the edited scenes that was put back in.
I was, yeah.
And even, you know, at the beginning when the Arnie steps out of the bar and you've got Bad to the Bone playing is essentially played for laughs.
Yeah, and that didn't sit right with me initially.
Yeah. I've got a lot. I like Terminator 1. Terminator 1 is my favorite. Over Terminator 2. I have certain issues with Terminator 2. It's a good film. It's a groundbreaking film. I'm not going to deny that. It's a great James Cameron film. But there are certain issues with it where I watch it and I say, I'd have much rather you'd done this at that point. And a lot of that with the film that I have.
Yeah, I actually have a discussion with a friend called LJ, not AJ, but LJ. We discussed Terminator 1 and 2, which one's better. I like 1, he likes 2.
Yeah. Oh, so the issue for me, I will go into it. I'll go into what my issues are. So they made the film, massive budget. They had to decrease the age rating to 15 to open the doors for more people to recoup their budget. So from a narrative perspective, for me, the film starts, you have Arnie come back, you have what looks like to be a human following him, who's the T-1000. So Arnie goes into this bar. He should kill those people, much like he did in Terminator 1. He shouldn't just wound them. He should kill them. So you're, as a viewer, you're in the mindset we're following the same path as the first film. Then you have Robert Patrick's T-1000 come through, which is by police, and the police turn up, and you don't see him kill the policeman to take his uniform. As far as you're aware as a viewer, he's just injured him, knocked him out, and taken what he's needed. Right?
Yeah.
The film progresses. Arnie's killed these people. So as a viewer, up until that point in the corridor, when the two of them meet and John Connor's in the middle of them, you are of the mindset, because you've been set that way by the actions beforehand, that Arnie's bad and this other guy is a human protector until those bullets start firing. Right. And then the point where Arnie is in the car lot with John, where they're feeding the coins into the telephone. He makes a telephone call to his parents. At that point, you have them other people come where he grabs hold of John, doesn't let him go, and those other people come over to help John. Arnie's going to kill one of them at that point in the film that we get. He pulls the gun on him and John pushes his arm away and says, no more killing. You can't kill anyone. See what I mean? But he hasn't killed anyone before that point anyway, because the narrative doesn't allow it, because of the age rating, and potentially because also narratively you may not, because you've seen him kill people, you may not.
Well, the age rating comes after the film's been made, not before, I think.
No, but they toned down on the violence for it because they knew that they wanted to open up doors for a bigger audience to make that money. That's why it's not an overly violent movie. Like the first
comparison. Yeah, in comparison, that first scene in Terminator.
Yeah. But had they done that again, you'd be looking at an 18-rated movie. So, and also I think the pacing in the middle drops off when they go to the desert, when it's all in the desert. I think and the T-1000 disappears for a while. I think the age rated, the pacing of the film declined somewhat there. But yeah, it's just that sort of stuff for me.
I find it's take away the special effects, and I think it's I think the original has heart to it, and I've always preferred the original for its. I think they had a much more minuscule budget, but they achieved so much.
They did. And I think there was a sorry, go on.
Versus just the budget being on the special effects.
Yeah. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think for Terminator 1, they've done a lot of guerrilla filmmaking as well, filming when they shouldn't have been filming. And you know what I mean? Yeah, it's they're both good films though, but for me, it's Terminator 1. Where you, Martin? Where do you go? Where do you?
Yeah, I go with Terminator 1. I do like. Yeah, I understand what you're saying about Terminator 2. It definitely does slow down in the middle, and then you've got all that stuff where they with the Miles Dyson, you know, the inventor, and they get the chip and the arm and stuff. That I think that is a bit of a drag as well. I don't think that was particularly necessary to go for that whole stuff. But yeah, I think Terminator 1 it definitely flows better as a film in terms of the action. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Lee Jedi says not that one. I'll link to Sasha's site. You haven't got a site, have you, Sasha? You're just on.
Well, I've got a YouTube page.
Yeah, that's it. Sasha doesn't have a site where he sells stuff or anything like that, Lee. It's a, it's just his channel that he does because he primarily does them for himself. Your covers, don't you? Yeah,
I do.
But what we're talking about is the potential of him opening up to,
Well, I suppose
So
you see how people react to it. What that is.
Yeah, so go over to his site and or to his page, sorry, Sexy Monkey, and start talking to him, subscribe, and get a little flow.
King Gore, my friend, he just he's got a Spanish Blu-ray with Spanish text, and he said he wanted some in English, so I just concocted something for him. And I did it last month for a German release of Near Dark.
Yeah. Cool. So Scotty Simmy McKay says, sorry, I meant hard boxes. So basically, could you slightly resize your this is what he's asking. Could you resize your sleeves slips so that a steelbook would slide within? Because I think steelbook's slightly bigger, isn't it, than a...
Right, yeah, that's easily done. You just need to know the dimensions, of course, yeah.
There you go.
To put a slip cover over a steelbook.
Yeah,
that's easy peasy.
There you go, Scott. You got your answer. How long do TVs last? Mine just went after 5 years, 5.5 years. No films for me this weekend. Got a new TV installation tomorrow. How long have you all gone without films? Okay, firstly, TVs. Wow, I mean, I've still got a TV. I've got to get rid of it. It's like spare TV, my kids used to use just for gaming, and that was before 4K. Blimey, that TV was bought. I want to say that TV was bought in. Oh, blimey! I want to go back to 2006, and it still works. Beyond the speakers, I have to connect external speakers. The speakers of the TV don't work, but the TV still works. So, yeah, blimey, fast approaching 20 years.
Yeah,
and it's a flat screen, but before it was my first ever flat screen TV.
Yeah, the one that I've just replaced still is behind me. Actually, I've got to get rid of it as well. But that's a 4K. That I had that for nearly 5 years, and it's still working. It's just it's just old technology. You need to move on from particularly with 4K. Like I say, the OLED technology is far superior to anything that I had previously. So
I think the problem might be that TVs need updates, don't they? A lot of these smart TVs need updates. So I'm pretty sure that, like your iPhones and things like that, they're going to slow down on pushing the updates of the TV that then cause the TVs to slow down. They can essentially, if they don't want you using that TV, they can make it so you don't use that TV, in a sense.
just
Yeah.
like region coding, everything could be region free, but they choose to lock them.
Yes.
That's a choice.
Yeah, which nowadays there's no need for that really at all. I mean, I understood it back in the day of DVD when you got, the American releases were months and months and months before we had the release over here, and even before sometimes the cinema release of films. But now, I don't see much of a reason for it.
I don't understand why 4K discs are region free, but yet Blu-rays are still region coded. Any idea what the reasons behind that is? Still,
no idea.
It's a choice though. It's just it's weird, especially when both are combined. Studio Canal do that a lot, although they put out.
Yeah, you buy a 4K that's got a Blu-ray. Like for example, I bought stuff from the US that's obviously the 4K is region free, but obviously the Blu-ray is still region locked, which is a bit. Yeah, I don't understand the thinking behind that, but
I think the initial reason for region locking stuff was because you have different distributors for films in different territories.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we have to, over here we would have to pick our distributor as opposed to take money out of their hands from a different distributor who's distributing that film in another region earlier. I think that was part of the reasoning for it. But so how long have you gone? So Jesse asks, how long have you gone without films? Have you had a period of time where you haven't gone without watching films for whatever reason? I mean, let me answer. I can't remember. Honestly, maybe when I'm on holiday. That's it.
No, I don't think there's ever been a time where that I've not watched a film.
I mean,
I can't think of. Yeah, there's not been like a time where I've gone like weeks and weeks and weeks and not watched a film. No, I think it's maybe like a couple of days, but not an extended time.
No, I think Jesse's reason for asking is obviously because his TV's broken down and
Yeah.
you can't watch anything at the moment. It makes you think, well, what if I didn't have the money to get a new TV? How long would I have to go?
Yeah.
Well, I'm the odd one out because I just in May I came back from France, and since I've been back since May I've watched I think 4 films. I think 4.
Okay, wow.
And
Been too busy?
I had to watch them over several days.
Yeah.
Not really. No, I just you got to be in the right mind frame.
Yeah. Yeah, there is that. That's fair enough. Bal says CX pricing is all over the place. I saw a copy of They Live for £10. You can get that brand new for $7.99. Yeah, sometimes that happens. I've seen it occasionally.
Well, that's another one. The Studio Canal's edition of They Live, the feature film is region free, but the special features are region B. That's even weirder to me because that's not a 4K. You're not combining different formats, but why are they not the same? They're the same set, and yet they changed the region coding on them.
No, that is an odd one, isn't it?
Yeah,
strange. Very strange indeed. Little Steve, movie chats. Have you? So he's going to wait for The Last of Us. He wants to get Last of Us on 4K. He wants the price to drop a bit. It's expensive in his opinion at the moment. Did you watch Last of Us?
Well, it's brand new, so it's going to be expensive.
Yeah. I know. I think the steelbook's like 50 quid. Something stupid like that for it. I only got 4 episodes in and I stopped.
I bought True Detective when it first came out for £36, season 1. And then because of my OCD, I had to rebuy it because age ratings on the discs. I got the US one for less and made a massive loss. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen The Last of Us. I know what it is, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah. What about you, Martin? Have you bothered with that?
Yeah, I watched the whole series. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Yeah.
Do you have any plans of picking it up?
Yeah, I might pick it up. like Oliver says, when it gets a bit cheaper, because I don't want to. I don't know what the standard release price is. That's probably about 50 quid, is it? Maybe is that 40, 45? Would it be 40, 45 quid?
Something like that.
Just a slipcover release. Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't bother getting a steelbook. It's probably just pick up the standard release. I picked up the standard box set for House of the Dragon when that came out. I got that cheap off eBay. I got that for about 30 quid when it came out, which was quite a good deal.
That's cheap. That doesn't sound cheap to me.
Yeah, I think it was about 45 quid. So I got it for about 30. So, somebody was selling it on eBay. It was still sealed, so I picked that up.
Fair enough. That was cool. Yeah. For me, I think Last of Us, I couldn't get into it because it was just too familiar with Walking Dead for me. After 11 seasons, 9 on 7 seasons at the time, 6 seasons of Fear the Walking Dead, the 2 seasons of World Beyond, 1 season of Fear of Walking Dead Tales or Tales of the Walking Dead, and having read all the comic books of Walking Dead, the familiarity was just too. It's like I'm just visiting that world again, and it kind of
oversaturated.
Yeah, that's for me.
And now Dead City as well. Dead City's kind of taken on a little bit of that mantle from The Last of Us, I think, as well, with the kind of scenario. That whole kind of. I think that Dead City is probably more what The Last of Us should have been, in my opinion.
Yeah, I enjoyed Dead City. It was all right. It wasn't as good as what I thought it would be, but it was. I enjoyed the character of Negan, so and his relationship with Maggie because of historic events. But yeah, okay. So Ian Hill's here. He's got a question. Well, not so much a question, more of a statement. And the world has definitely gone mad when Disney do a version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs without the dwarfs. I know that this is causing a lot of hoo-ha in the I know Piers Morgan done a video on it as well. What's your opinions on that? Without getting too political, I suppose. Although I don't mind getting political.
To have Snow White, well, it's not Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but if there's no dwarves.
No.
Is that a completely different story?
Well, this is it. This is the, why wouldn't you cast dwarfs in it? I don't get it. It's go on.
So who's actually? So that, is it just like standard actors? So how are they doing it?
Or is it an origin story before she meets them?
No, it's normal. It's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's that same story, but you haven't got dwarf actors playing the roles of the dwarfs. You've got people.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a missed opportunity to me.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. I mean, I can't get my head around it because you're taking away jobs from people with limited stature who can't exactly, like Piers Morgan was saying, these the little guy who was with little guy, the dwarf that was on the video, he calls himself a dwarf, so I'm not being politically incorrect there. He was saying it ain't like he can go for a role that George Clooney, we could, but he won't get it. That sort of George Clooney-esque role, or that Brad Pitt role, that these are roles that are created for, that should be fulfilled by these people of limited stature. And trying to be politically correct by saying, "Oh, we'll cast anyone," or it goes against. It's kind of like it defeats the purpose. It's kind of like counterintuitive to what your argument is. I think I don't get it.
So question. So why is it acceptable for Disney to cast Warwick Davies back as Willow, and he's obviously, somebody of limited stature. So why was that acceptable for them to do that, but yet they find it unacceptable to do it for Snow White? So that to me that sounds a little bit hypocritical.
it does, but I think the answer lies in your question to a degree, in that
Hmm.
it's a role that Warwick Davis is returning to rather than a new role. That, do you see what I'm saying?
Well, there is that. Yeah, Warwick Davis is Willow, so
Yeah. But yeah, I know
But the
I get
premise
where
is the
you're
same,
going.
though, isn't it? Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is, yes. I don't know. It
Yeah.
is world's gone mad with all this
so
stuff.
so
Yeah.
what with CGI? They're taking people of average height and using CGI to make them look smaller. Is that?
That's possible. I don't know, because I'll be honest with you, I haven't looked into it too much. I've seen a screenshot or a photo of like the lineup of the dwarfs in a field or something. I didn't really pay too much attention to it at all. Wasn't really overly interested in it, but it kind of brings me round to the new Willy Wonka film, the origin film, where the Oompa Loompas are played by Hugh Grant, who has been digitally altered to make himself into a person of limited stature, shall we say, without casting a person of limited stature as a Oompa Loompa.
I saw the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of comes back around to that as well, because they've done it. And generally, these would have been roles that were given to these people who find it harder to get roles anyway, because it's limited what they can do. And with George Lucas not really knocking out any films these days.
I think you should just hire the person that's right for the role, but obviously, they're made for the role.
Absolutely,
Suited to the
absolutely.
role.
I mean, it's in the title.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think the title of the film is going to be Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I think they'll change it. It might just be Snow White, but it's that story. It's still that narrative, that classic story. And these people are made for it, or it's made for them. They're dwarfs in the bloody title of Snow White, and they are going against it. I don't know.
I didn't
Well, that's
even
gone
know.
mad.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know that this was happening. That another one's been done.
Yeah.
Is that actually out then? That film, it's not been released yet, has it?
Oh, what are we talking about? Snow White.
This new Snow White film.
No. No, it's just in production, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Bao says, Atty and Disney are the pits. Awful company, mate. Luke says, hi, can I join? Luke, can I get you on a future one? Is that all right? It's I don't really I try not to do the drop-in thing. But yeah, I'll message you and sort out a date in the next few weeks, if that's all right, mate. Please. Pal says, AJ, don't know Barbie, stop lying. We all know you have all the figures tucked away. I'll tell a lie. I don't tell a lie. I'll tell the truth. There's one Barbie. There's one Barbie in this house, right? I've got one Barbie boxed upstairs, and it is a Barbie of Elektra from Marvel. It was a Barbie that I bought for my daughter, which stayed in its box, never unboxed. And when she doesn't come in much anymore. My kids are older. They just sort of visit. And it's still here, boxed, and it's in one of my. It's in my vast collection of collectibles. That's the only Barbie I've got. So, Elektra Barbie. Gareth says he's currently painting the dining room wall. If it wasn't for the two guests, I would watch the paint dry. Gareth, it's been probably about an hour since your first message. That's probably how long it's taken you to think that one up. So it looks like you're going to get some people messaging you anyway, Sasha. With regards to your slips.
Probably, yeah.
That's not bad though, is it? Come on, that's a good thing.
No.
Hi guys, how are you? Oceans Reviews. Dan from Oceans. Okay, Dan from Oceans Reviews over in Australia. We need to get you back on. It's been so long. I know you've been busy. I know you've been caught up with other stuff, and your channel sort of stopped for a while, if that makes sense. Taking a hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
But we miss you in the community, mate. So get back to it. Stuart George can't make live chat. He's out with his wife at the moment shopping. Stuart has just started his own channel. He's only got, I think he's got maybe 23 subs at the moment. And he's got a few videos on there. One of them's a room tour. He's got quite a nice room with some nice, it's worth taking a look at. So Stuart gets a live shout out now, and he'll get a shout out because I already recorded it in my pickup video tonight. With a link to his channel. Dr. Impossible. The BBFC gave Jurassic Park a PG on cinema release, but the film could have been given a 15. Universal had to put a warning on the poster and VHS retail and rental tapes in the UK. Oh, I did not know that.
A warning on top of the standard warnings.
Probably a verbal warning, I'm guessing. Of some description, I don't know exactly what. I suppose we were coming into that period where the BBFC were loosening things a bit, shall we say? Do you know what I mean? I mean, going back to Terminator 3, I'm always shocked at that scene where the fist comes through the geezer in the car, the police officer, where she's in the back.
Yeah.
She, as the bloke, she's in the form of the bloke, and then she punches through. And I think it grabs the steering wheel through his chest. Yeah. And that film was a PG-13 or 12. No, sorry, PG. That's American rated. That film was a 12A.
You said which film? Terminator 3?
Terminator 3.
3
was a 12A upon release. I know because my son was 4 and I took him.
Yeah, it was here, but it got an R rating in America.
Did it really? Wow.
Yeah.
Goes to show the difference. Wow. Oh. I did not know that either. There you go. Every day's a school day. So, all right, Sasha, let's get to know you a little bit better. Do you have, and I know this is a very broad question and I find it difficult to answer, although I did eventually. Do you have a favourite genre of film? Do you have a favourite film? Do you have, do you have a least favourite genre?
I have a favorite film. Yes, I have a favorite. My favorite genre might, I don't know. I like crime a lot as a genre.
Okay. Yeah.
Crime films. But my favorite film isn't a crime film, so maybe that's, I don't know, ironic.
Mm.
But my favorite film is the anime Ghost in the Shell.
Okay.
I can't deal with the live action. I'm never going to watch that.
Yep.
I actually underwent hypnosis to forget that it even exists. So I'm not intentionally going to watch that.
Yeah.
But do I have a least favorite genre? Maybe the rom-com.
Okay.
I actually think rom-coms are dangerous because they're not realistic. Some people think that that's what you should be trying to achieve. I like When Harry Met Sally. I like my favorite rom-com is a film called A New Leaf, but I don't like the sort of the cliche of the rom-com. So
yeah,
that's my least favorite genre.
They're very fairy tale-esque.
Yeah.
In what they do in their narrative, yeah. Real life isn't like that. Yeah, I know. There we go. So do you like anime? Then do you go for a lot of anime?
Yeah. Well, no, not certain types, and not everything, because it can be very, engulfing. Because there's a lot of it out there. But yes, I do. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I've recently started sort of. I've never really been into anime, but more recently, I've started turning my eye to it. Yeah. So, Martin, what about yourself? Go on.
Sci-fi and horror are probably my two most favourite genres. Least favorite, I'd probably say probably musicals.
Okay.
Not really I'm not really a fan of musicals very much. I know you're a big fan of La La Land, aren't you, AJ?
I didn't mind. I've got the CD soundtrack up there on the shelf.
And what was the other one? What was the other one? The Christmas one.
Spirited.
Spirited, yes.
which if all goes to plan, it will go to plan. At Christmas, I will be doing a live watch party of Spirited with Gareth on Video Tasties, and it will be a sing along. I will be singing.
Yeah.
So he better be warned, because I'll be giving it my all.
Okay, that's something different.
I know he's done some sing-alongs before for musical films like The Blues Brothers and Grease, but people don't really get into it. I don't really get into the singing, but I'm going to try and, flex my vocal cords and see what I can produce.
If you love horror and sci-fi, I suppose Aliens up there for you.
Oh yeah. We watched Aliens the other day actually, but yeah. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I have a large lightsaber collection, which AJ likes. But I like all sci-fi. Yeah, Star Wars is obviously the main sci-fi for me to go to. But I do like Star Trek. I do watch some elements of Star Trek. But horror, yeah, I like all horror genres, going back to the early stuff. 50s, 60s, 70s, all the way through 80s, 90s, noughties. Yeah.
That's cool. So what's your thoughts on the new Alien film? Is it Rhombus or something it's called?
Rhombus. Yeah, I don't know if I'm quite looking forward to seeing it, but I think I'm going in with quite low expectations on that one.
Because you've got the film and you've got the Noah Hawley's, is that his name? Hawley? Noah Hawley, is that his name?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
His TV show as well coming.
Yeah.
Which is the one that gets me, because it's set on Earth before the events of Alien.
Yeah.
With an alien in it as well. So how that's going to narratively play out, I don't.
So is that going to kind of link in with Prometheus and stuff? Because obviously Prometheus was kind of a precursor to kind of Alien. How the origins of the ship and stuff like that. So is that going to kind of work into Prometheus as well?
Firstly, I can't answer that.
Okay.
But hopefully, I'd say no. I think I'm not a fan of the prequel anyway. I think you get far more enjoyment out of, like with Alien, in the fact that it's a mystery. Why do we need to know? Why can't it just be? Why can't it just be something that's out there? Why do we need to know exactly where it came from, and that it's actually, and the fact that you actually link it back to humans and the creation of the alien and all this sort of stuff, like what Prometheus tried to do, it just feels like you've taken the universe and you've like just decreased it in size and made it.
Yeah. Well, also it's no longer alien when you know it.
No, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
Why can't it just be a creature that exists out there somewhere and we don't know where, why, what, except it does this, that it does. It's far more scarier to not know than to know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that stuff. So the TV show, although this Noah Hawley bloke is, he's the right guy, isn't it? If I'm wrong, let me know. But I know he done the Fargo TV series, and they were very good.
I thought that was perfect, especially season 1.
Yes, yeah. He's the guy behind that. So he's got talent, shall we say. He's got, I did enjoy the other seasons as well. And I think they are working on a new season of it, apparently. There was talk of it. I don't know what's come of that. But, yeah, I quite like them. So I think that yeah, I don't know. I mean, hopefully, but obviously the film's not coming to cinema, is it? It's like Prey. It's going to Hulu.
It'll get straight to streaming. I imagine. Yeah. I don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't really know where they can take another feature film. Is it going to be? Is it going to be a follow-on from? What was the last one? Resurrection, was it? Where Sigourney Weaver was the clone.
Wait.
What was
I can't remember now.
Was it Resurrection?
Covenant.
Covenant was a prequel. Yeah, Covenant was a prequel that came after Prometheus.
Yeah, so Covenant was part of the kind of Prometheus story, wasn't it? But I mean, in terms of aliens, that I think Resurrection was the last kind of alien film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which had Winona Ryder and
unfortunately that's the one I saw in the cinema.
Yeah, I watched it recently actually. I couldn't remember anything about it at all actually, but I don't know where they can move the story on from that, or is it going to be set in between some of the other films?
This is a question. I suppose we will. We will see. We'll see when it comes. When we get more info on it. Who knows?
I didn't know there was still more alien material being made. I never saw Covenant.
So next message is from yourself.
I said that in response to Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So you're way ahead with the messages than me then. I don't know what's being said down there. Dr. Impossible says the BBFC had the same issue with License to Kill. The only Bond film to have a 15 cert. I remember that. United International Pictures, who distributed license for United Artists, wanted cuts to sell the film more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. King Gore puts a little face. I don't know. So, have you got a favourite Bond film? What do you think of the Bond film, Sasha? Do you have a favourite? If you're even a fan of them.
I am. I like. I've always liked The Man with the Golden Gun a lot, and I Only Have Eyes for You. No, that's the name of a Bond film, isn't it? It's a song from. No.
For Your Eyes Only, you mean?
For Your Eyes Only,
Your Eyes Only. Yeah, that might be my favourite.
Fair enough.
But not so much. Not so much the newer ones. No. Fun fact. I mean, people say that they're never fun. Roger Moore was my neighbour.
Was he?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, wow. There you go. Interesting. Where's that? Where were you then? Where were you living?
Well, living in just outside of Gloucestershire.
Okay, cool. Did you get on all right with him? What was he like as a person?
Really nice, really humble, and softly spoken, and ever so caring. Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Oh, brilliant. Wow. There we go. Martin, do you have a favourite Bond?
Yeah. I kind of grew up with Roger Moore as well. I would say my favourite one would probably be Live and Let Die. I would say would be my favourite.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Mine's already been mentioned. License to Kill. I've always said that. Many a video in the past I've said License to Kill.
Yeah.
I like License to Kill.
Yeah.
Okay. Luke said, "What's the most recent thing you've picked up, purchased, title-wise, film-wise?" Sasha, you picked anything up lately?
It was Collateral. I just picked this up. It was just Creed 3. That's the one I.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I just got it, so
yeah.
Boring answer. I've been buying Criterions in bulk.
The answer's not boring. It's what you last picked up.
Well, cool. It's an obvious answer.
Well, yeah, I suppose. Martin, what about yourself?
I haven't bought much recently, but the only two bits I've bought are I bought John Wick 4 when that came out, and I've just recently picked up Prometheus as well. Funny, we were talking about it just a minute ago. Yeah, I just wanted to rewatch it. So yeah, I picked that up for about 12 quid. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I could. What I'll do is I'll answer this question with the new release wise, because obviously I picked up bits in CEX yesterday, but the new release that I picked up, latest new release, would have been Jaws 2 from this week, the special edition version with the steelbook and the book and all that stuff in. And apparently, there is a fan edit cut of Jaws 1 and 2 put together as one film, and it also includes edited scenes from the movies as well, put back in. And it's called Jaws, the bigger boat cut or something like that. And I've asked someone if they could try and find that for me, because I like them sort of projects that when people do that sort of a thing, it intrigues me. And Jaws
I used to do that myself. I remember putting all the deleted scenes back into Scarface and and Jaws as well. Actually, I did that too.
Yeah. Oh, so you're not the creator of the Jaws 1 and 2 bigger boat cut, though, then, are you?
I can't take credit for that, no.
So we'll see where that goes if I do get that. I've not heard nothing at the moment. It's been quiet on that front, though. I feel little people have limited secure acting roles, and to not cast them in live action Snow White is I generally don't swear on my channel, so I won't use the word. I generally don't swear in everyday talk either. So
he's just saying that because he's American, and I think he likes adopting English.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. It's the canine testes. Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's a euphemism for meaning good when something's good. The dogs.
Oh yeah, you put a dog in front of it.
Means something's good.
Dog's ballads.
Yeah, but when you just use it on its own, it's bad. There we go.
Yeah.
Them. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It is bad. It's really bad. Here's a question for you. When does collecting become hoarding? I don't think it does. I think hoarding is more akin to when you keep stuff that you're not actually collecting, but you're actually keeping, like when people keep newspaper after newspaper after newspaper, and you get these other hoarders who have, pizza boxes won't be thrown out, things like that. Telephone directories, when you used to get telephone directories, when you're actually collecting, you're collecting. So I think it's, see what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's a one specific thing. It's not just random.
Yeah.
I suppose, I see where he's going with that question. I suppose it's, are you buying stuff for the sake of buying something might not necessarily need?
Do we need any of it?
Well, yeah.
Need and wants two very different things. I mean, at the end of the day, do I need any of my collection? No, I don't need it.
No,
I want it.
Yeah.
The thing for me is like when Poundland were doing Blu-rays for £2. Yes, I'd go in, I'd see something, and it's a film I've not seen. And I'd be like, oh, okay, that looks okay for £2, and I'd justify it in my head from a rental perspective, in that I would be, I'd say to myself, well, that's £2 for a Blu-ray is less than what a rental was back in the day when I used to go down for VHS rentals. Yeah. So I'm not really. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's a one watch, I've only spent less than a rental price on it, and I may have rented it. Yeah. But then I keep it. So my collection has grown vastly with a lot of films that truly I probably wouldn't ever revisit. But then the problem there is that what do I do with them? If I went through and I end up with a big pile of films that I've got that I can honestly say, I won't watch these again. What do I then go and do with that pile of films? Because number one, CEX, there's no point trading in because it ain't worth your time because you're looking at a penny a disc. So there's nothing there because CEX don't want them. I could give them to a charity shop, but now a lot of charity shops aren't actually taking DVD and Blu-ray in because they can't shift them. So they just end up in a bin outside. I'm never going to put them in a bin myself because to throw them away is in my mind is sacrilege in the sense that this is art. I can almost liken it to, I feel like I'm doing what the Nazis did with books in burning books. I can't bring myself, even the book, I can't bring myself to throw a book away because so does that become hoarding? Because I just think that this is someone's work.
Yeah.
See what I mean? So I've got films that there's absolutely nothing to do with other than throw away, and I just couldn't bring myself to throw them away. So am I hoarding at that point?
If you're getting enjoyment, well, if you have no intention of ever using them again, then maybe that could be considered that. But I don't know.
But then I have, in the past, there was a time when I did sell on DVDs when I had a load of DVDs and that, and then you find yourself, not all of them, but you find yourself, why'd I get rid of that film? And I've got to get it back because I want to watch it again. There's that element to it as well. Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah, some titles do go out of print as well. Sometimes when they go out of print, you don't see them again for a long time, do you?
No,
until they get picked up by like one of the boutique labels, and maybe get a restoration. But yeah,
a really good friend of mine, who's the only person on YouTube I've actually met in person. He asked me for some. He got Black Adam and Last Night in Soho on 4K, but he got given just the disc. So he asked me to make him custom sleeves, which I did for him. But I gave him my copy of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as well because I had a spare. I just gave it to him.
Yeah. Yeah, we do that. That sort of stuff goes around in the community. We do sort of pass stuff around when something's unwanted and that.
If someone else can get an enjoyment from it,
yeah. No, absolutely, yeah. I'd much rather do that than toss it away. Obviously. Kel says hello. Hi, Kel. How you keeping? Hope you're well. Remember in Snow White and the Huntsman, they did shrink normal size people to play dwarfs. Ian McShane was one of them. That's true. Yes, they did. So is it a case of I don't know. It's funny, isn't it? Is it a case of it was always there for a while? Because even I think you could argue Lord of the Rings done the similar. Hobbit.
Who can forget movie 43?
I never watched it.
Colin Farrell. They made him into a dwarf.
Did they?
Oh. Yes.
Oh.
No, sorry, Gerard Butler.
Okay, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I never did watch it.
I'm not recommending it. It's a travesty.
So which this opens the question of is this something that's always been there and that we've done that has been done previously, but now because of all the woke movement and whatnot that we're now noticing it more and perceiving it as more of an issue than what it may be. Just food for thought. Playing devil's advocate here more than I don't know. That's a thought that needs exploring more.
Well, could you say that Dustin Hoffman shouldn't have played Rain Man? They should have had someone who was actually autistic. How far do you go with it?
Yeah, I think they're. I'm not to sound bad, but do they have an ability to act? In a sense, I know what you're saying, and I know what I'm saying sounds really bad. But would they have someone who suffers those issues? Would you be able to get the performance you want from them? if that makes sense. To evoke the emotion they need to evoke at the time they need to evoke it, and this sort of a thing, or would that be an impossible?
No, that does make absolute sense.
Because let's be fair, right? When what's his face played Stephen Hawkins, I forget his name now. I don't like the actor.
Freddie Redmayne.
That's it.
Yeah.
He certainly wouldn't be able to get someone in that position to do what's required. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's going down a dark path.
But I can imagine people being upset with that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those questions that need quite a bit of exploration, doesn't it? Dr. Impossible says, talking about little people, I was reminded of Steve Rash's film Under the Rainbow about the casting of The Wizard of Oz. Great little comedy, very unknown. I can't say I've ever heard of that or seen it.
No.
What's that, Sasha? Have you got something you want to share?
Oh, no. I'm just holding it. I'm not showing it. Some anime.
Okay, go. Bow at Zippy, keeping films you will never watch again. Yes. Did any of you watch The Flash season 9, the final season? I thought it was brilliant. Flash TV show.
No, I kind of gave up after the second series. I didn't realise they'd gone to that far, to be honest. I got to about 2, and then it just got too much for me, really. To be honest, there was too much of this parallel universes and people coming back and going backwards and forward, and it was just like just lost interest in it, to be honest.
I got further than you. I think I got to season 8, as far as I remember. And Luke, this is more for the benefit of Luke. I remember the Flash's girlfriend being stuck behind a mirror in a mirror world or something. And that seemed to just drag on and on and on and on and on, and I kind of stopped there with the intent of still continuing and seeing it through to the end, but never got there. I just never got there. So no, I haven't seen season 9 and that second half of season 8. There are some very talented dwarf actors. Why not employ them? Yes, and one of them being, my mind's really bad today. The geezer who played Elf. Pete Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage, was it?
Yeah, but he's one of the people saying that regular sized people should play dwarfs. He's all for it.
I mean, it is acting, but I think that you got to. Well, there's still. I don't know. The fact that he's saying that might make it okay. I don't know.
No, because this other little dwarf guy didn't like his comments because he was saying that basically Peter Dinklage Peter Dinklage has taken on roles of characters that generally wouldn't have been of limited stature. Cyrano being one of them. It was used as his height in the context of that, and also when he played the fella in the X-Men films. Obviously, that character is a normal sized person, but Peter Dinklage took that role, and Peter Dinklage is, he's a fabulous actor. I won't, but then he did take roles which were made for dwarves, like in Elf.
Yeah.
And someone might correct me if I'm wrong. I've not read the Lord of the Rings books, but I'm assuming that the character he plays in that is of limited stature as well. I may be incorrect there. I don't know. I've not read them books.
Well, he was predominantly in Game of Thrones. Was the series that kind of thrust him into
Yeah, but now where he's utilised his height to gain some in roles that would have been fit for that person, he's now saying opposite to that. Because he has had the opportunity to act in roles that would have been, you know, generally, because he's a good actor. He's a very good actor.
He is, yeah.
You know, I mean, there's no real mention of the role that when he played the role in Pixels. I remember in Pixels with Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
that could have been anyone in that role. It wasn't necessarily someone of limited stature.
Yeah.
See what I mean? It would have made no, never mind. And I don't think nothing was really made out of his limited stature either in it, if I recall. It was just Peter Dinklage there, which was funny. But there we go. There we go. Dr. Impossible says, Under the Rainbow has Carrie Fisher and Chevy Chase. Okay. I'll have to look that up. I've never, ever heard of it. Okay, here we go. What's your favourite horror movies?
Mine is. I don't like. I'm someone who doesn't like horror because I don't like the way it makes me feel. I don't like being disturbed. But mine is American Werewolf in London.
101.
Okay, cool. Martin?
I would say difficult one. It's a difficult one. It would have to be a toss-up between the original Dawn of the Dead and The Thing.
Okay. I had The Thing spinning around in my head then.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a lover of horror. Horror's not I do watch some horror films. Don't get me wrong, but I'm very critical of horror, as you've probably seen, Martin. And I do say stuff that upsets people when it comes to horror. I'm not a fan of horror. It's not a go-to genre of mine. That's not to say I haven't got horrors. I don't mind the Elm Street films. I don't mind the Jason films. I don't mind the Chucky films. The sort of stuff I grew up on. I have sort of love for them when, you know, I was young and watching horror was probably, felt a bit sort of risque, shall we say, in an age where I shouldn't have been watching them. A lot of horror films today don't work for me. Number one, because I don't find them scary in any way, shape, or form. And I think, echoing your words, Sasha, the way they make you feel, I've always said when people have asked me, am I going to do a 31 Days of Halloween? What are you watching for Halloween? I'll turn around and say I can't do it because I don't like the place. If I was to watch continued horror, proper horror, I don't like the place it kind of puts my mind, where it gives you these darker thoughts, kind of, so to speak, puts your mind into a certain, more of a negative space, shall we say. And I can't handle that. And I did explore that. On a live chat some time ago. I had Bumper on, who is very much horror. He loves his horror. He really does. And I wanted to explore the reasons why, because I don't really understand it. And who else was on? Ian from Ian Hill's The Ramblings, because he loves horror as well. And where he's an older fella, no disrespect to Ian if you're watching, he's got a lot of horror knowledge from those early Hammer days of horror and that sort of thing, building up into today. So I've done this get together with us because I wanted to explore those very like what you said, Sasha, that sort of putting it into a dark place and whether what they get out of it. Not for me, horror. But if I had to choose a favorite horror film, I'd have to go The Thing, or I'd have to choose Alien and go with that sci-fi horror. I mean, is Jaws classed as a horror? Jaws is my favorite film of all time. And yet you see a horror poster, like with all horror iconic characters on, and inevitably you'll have that shark put there. There's such a broad,
I always saw it as more of an adventure film, but
absolutely.
There are horrific scenes in it, but is it a horror film? I don't think so.
But as straight horror goes, if you take The Thing which is sci-fi, because for me, I think sci-fi film, Alien sci-fi film, with horror elements. If I'm going straight horror, I don't know really. I might have to say one of the Elm Streets, the first Elm Street film, or New Nightmare, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, or something like that. I really don't know. No, The Shining. I'd have to say The Shining. I'd have to put The Shining as number one. It's my favourite horror film with Jack Nicholson. I do like that film. But it's more psychological horror, isn't it?
I think Terminator has horror traits.
It does.
You've got a single woman being stalked by an unstoppable force. That sounds like
Halloween.
Yeah.
The Halloween Michael Myers films, or something like The Exorcist, maybe. That's a
not a film that I ever really got into. Exorcist. I'd have to say Shining. Plays more psychologically on you, I think. But yeah, so there we go. And that's from King Gore, Sasha, your friend from the States.
What is
AJ singing, I'll be needing earplugs for that one, says Michael. You won't, because I'm a very good singer. And I will be getting I'll be giving Gareth a copyright strike for my vocal talent. We'll see. Watch your space. Hi, Michael. Oh, that's people saying hello to each other. All Things Film. Hello, afternoon, chaps. How are you keeping? All Things Film. AJ singing. God help us. Zippy 2020. Oh, okay. That was why I think he said Zippy. Gareth, did I miss a message up further up? I may have done. If I did, I apologise, Zippy. It looks like I may have done. Anyway, favourite director out of Ridley Scott, Christopher Nolan, or Denis Villeneuve. Yeah.
I would, out of those three, I would go with Ridley Scott, I think.
I'd probably go for Christopher Nolan.
That's a difficult one, really, because I see three different eras of film there. In that Ridley Scott, he goes back so far. Christopher Nolan then comes in so far, and Denis Villeneuve is more of a new boy on the scene, so to speak, not as long in the tooth as each of them. So I think Ridley Scott, I think they're all I'd have to go Nolan as well, I think Ridley Scott started dropping the ball later on.
Oh yeah, in recent years, but you can't ignore Blade Runner.
Yeah.
No, I can't. But I do think that I will say that I preferred Denis Villeneuve's 2049 over the original Blade Runner.
Oh.
Yeah, Blade Runner is actually a film that I have certain issues with. I won't go into them. Not that it's a bad film. It's not. It's a groundbreaking, fantastic world building film. I just find it to be so damn boring. Anything I can say about it. Every time I've tried to watch it and get out of it while other people get out of it, I come away thinking, there's so much in this film. I like the set design and the world building, like I said. Rutger Hauer's performance. There's so much to like. It just bores me. I can't. And I when I saw the sequel, I thought I prefer this to the first one. I was blown away by the sequel. In fact, I've seen the sequel more than what I've seen the first one. But the first one I do visit. I keep visiting. As a kid, I thought, is it because I saw it as a kid? I didn't like it. I visited it throughout life, trying to get out of it what other people get out of it. And I just can't for some reason. But I can see its worth, if that makes sense. I look at it and I understand why it gets lauded over for certain elements other than it's boring.
Yeah.
But there we go.
It's not for everybody, It's not.
No, it's all subjective, isn't it? At the end of the day. And there we go. But like I always say, my opinion isn't to detract from others. I like having the discussions of why we like and why we don't. I think they're intriguing discussions and I enjoy them. I'm not one of those people to You know, I mean, you get a lot of people, they what I call football mentality, which is you like what I don't like, or I like and you don't like it, so I'm going to smash your face in. I take it as a personal insult to me that I like this and you don't, so now I'm angry at you for it. I don't get that mentality or logic. I like to have a conversation around the differences of opinion on something.
Well, that logic isn't so logical.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
And having those conversations sometimes open my eyes to like, oh, I didn't really see it like that, or I didn't see that in the film. Interesting that you saw it that way, or you took it narratively that way, that sort of thing. But yeah. But anyway, King Gore says Jaws is horror. Some folks have even tried calling it a form of slasher. Yeah, which is what you said, Sasha. Slasher. That sort of segued well in, didn't it? Slasher. Sasha. It's like what you were likened it to the Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees type of a thing.
No, that was Terminator. I was saying Terminator could be considered horror.
Yeah.
Or horror elements.
Yeah. So Bao says this about me. You watch Adam Sandler films, AJ. Can't get any more horror than that. Okay, I'll say it here. Yes, I do watch Adam Sandler films, and some of them I enjoy. I get a laugh out of them. My mind is very busy always. My mind is, it just never, my wife says this, you never shut off. Your head never shuts off. It's always, even at night time, it's just rolling. And this need for, to learn stuff, I question stuff. I say, why is that called something? Why is this street? We go past the street and I'll say, why has that street got that name? And I have to look into the etymology of why something has been called something and all this sort of thing all the time. And with an Adam Sandler film, and I said this in one of my videos before, I said, for me, watching an Adam Sandler film is like being given a short-term lobotomy.
I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah, in that I can sit down, I can watch it, I can turn it on, and for some reason I just feel I just feel like I've dumbed down and everything else goes out of my mind. But I'm watching this Adam Sandler do this stupidness that he does, and it's like it's almost like treatment, a therapy. It's almost like a therapy session that dumbs me down for the duration of the movie. So it's got a sort of a health benefit to watching. Adam Sandler. And I get that from it.
Yeah, I think Happy Gilmore has always been one of my favorite comedies. I still love watching it to the day. I still crack up when I watch that film. It's just it just
I've seen very few of his.
I mean, sometimes his films are throwaway rubbish. I mean, the stuff that he's produced for Netflix, some of that is awful, and I wouldn't touch it. A lot of it I haven't even visited. Recently done Murder Mystery 2, and it wasn't until Murder Mystery 2 that I thought, okay, I'm going to watch Murder Mystery 1 because there must be some worth in it because he's made a second one, so it must have been popular for a second one to get done. And I had fun with them. But there's a lot of films more recently that is recent, but Hubie Halloween, I think he done one called. I watched that. It was awful. I didn't even bother with. I think I got about 5 minutes into the Western one that he done. And I switched it off.
Uncut Gems was a really good film. When he played the straight role when he was.
Yeah, but he's not. That's not his sort of production. He's just acting.
Yeah.
I like Punch Drunk Love, Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
Serious. When he's not doing comedy, he can excel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he plays a straight role, he's really good.
I should give Uncut Gems a watch. I haven't seen it. Let me just skim through these messages because I'm going to wrap it up in a minute because I'm aware that Michael wants to start his live, which he said here. I'm a good singer. Ha 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 ha. I believe it when I see it. Anyways, gonna get ready for my stream. Okay, Michael, you go, and you've got already anyway. So get away and get to watching some good films. Dr. Apostle says, I thought Jaws was a straightforward thriller, even the book with the love story angle. Don Dealey, So he'll choose Ridley Scott. He's on board with you, Sasha.
Likewise. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, by the way, it's pronounced Denis Villeneuve.
Okay, thank you for that. What is a mistake, if not the opportunity to learn? There we go. Now, a moment that shark starts hunting and killing, it's classified a horror. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to get into the is it a horror or not argument. Blade Runner bores the hell out of me. Not for me, says Bow. Fair enough. My favourite Batman actors are Keaton and Affleck. My favourite Flash is Grant Gustin. Would you want the Flash to be Grant Gustin in the DCEU? No.
I've never seen the Flash. If you've seen
Yeah,
one
no.
episode, you've seen more than me.
I think he was good in the TV show. He was good, but I wouldn't want to see him in the film because it's just because of the connect from one to the other more than anything else. Yeah. AJ, are you a fan of Brian De Palma films? If so, what do you think of Blowout? I've not seen Blowout. But funny you should mention Brian De Palma. I did watch the other night, first Mission Impossible film. Not as bad as what I remember. I enjoyed, no one else seems to like, Mission to Mars. I think is a fabulous film. I really enjoy it.
I'm a big fan of Brian De Palma, and Blowout is my favourite film of his.
There you go. That's why King Gore is asking. So that's worth a watch then, is it?
In my opinion, I think it's great, yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Michael's still here. He has 2 phones. So I'm going to leave the messages there because obviously, like I said, I want to end it at 5:02, which is about 5:02 now. So just, Sasha, just tell me what is Blowout about? Just give me a quick rundown on it without spoiling it.
It's about a man who witnesses a murder and he's brought in for questioning and things escalate from there.
Okay. They blow out of proportion.
Yeah. Well, figuratively and literally.
Okay. Those worth a watch. Who's in it? Anyone?
John Travolta, Nancy Allen, who was married to Brian De Palma at the time.
Okay.
John Travolta's best performance, I think.
All right. I might give that one a go. I'll keep an eye out for it.
John Lithgow.
I like John Lithgow. He's always good. I like the fact that he can do The Family Man and a nasty piece of work as well at the same time. His performance in Dexter season 4, if you've seen it, he does a switch. He does a switch in one scene when Dexter's, I think, at dinner at his. He does this switch just instantaneous from being lovely family man, like what you get in Harry and the Hendersons, to just psychotic in an instantaneous switch. And it was something, I thought it was fantastic. But there we go. So, okay. So I'm going to round it up there because, like I said, Michael's going live. I don't want to tread on his toes, shall we say. So
don't cross the streams.
Yeah, don't cross the streams. Ghostbusters reference there. So, Sasha, do you have anything upcoming on your channel?
Well, I'll be showing more those that you saw and more slip covers. So watch that space if that's something you're interested in.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to get back to doing live streams because I'm too infrequent.
Okay, good. All right, cool. Well, it's been great having you on. Happy to have you on again sometime. That'd be great. It's been really good getting to know you and talk to you. Superb. And Martin, what about yourself? Have you got anything in the pipeline?
I was going to do a more kind of in-depth look at the TV. So I was going to film something about the TV and go into some of the features of the TV. So I might do that in the next next week or so. I've got to do a bit of cable management there at the moment. It's a bit untidy around the back there at the moment. So I just want to do the cables, and then I'll probably do a little video just showcasing the new TV.
Okay, cool. So what I will do, like I said, I will add the links. If I was better prepared, I've done it already, but I haven't because I'm not the best at preparing these things. There we go. I will add links to both Sasha and Martin's channels in the description and that. So please go over and support and subscribe and check out some of Sasha's cases that he's covers that he's producing. They're fantastic stuff. They truly are. Yeah, so brilliant. So I'm going to end it there. Obviously, hang on until and we'll sort of close out in behind closed doors. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for your comments, and speak to you soon. Goodbye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.